Welcome to FR UK Rugby for a wrap-up of round 3 in Pro D2, which is already taking shape. And that shape is incredibly competitive and completely unpredictable. And we begin at Angouleme, who hosted Dax. And it was the visitors who struck early. Charlie Matthews with the take at the line-out. Solid set. Backs adding their weight. And in the middle of that somewhere, Louis Barrère, the hooker, for the try. So at maul time, Dax had an edge, but with scrum, Angouleme got parity and executed a classic 8-9-15 move, Jules de Bec getting the home side back in contention. When Dax had a prop in the sin bin, Angouleme took full advantage. Sami Zahir busting out of the maul and going over. And more action in that same corner. The yellow card to Nefi Leatigaga really hurt Dax, with a third try following moments later through winger Mathis Gratien to put Angouleme in the lead for the first time in the contest. But Dax would go back in front through a mixture of pure pace from Louis Couget, helped by some, it has to be said, pretty average defending as he ghosted under the posts. Angouleme knocked over 3 penalties to clinch victory. But Dax got some reward for their evening with a penalty for the losing bonus point. Final score, 28-23. Aurillac against Beziers at the Stade Jean-Ulrich. And very nearly all of the points in this game were scored by backs. And it was lovely interplay down Aurillac's left side that ultimately saw scrum half David Delarue complete a flowing move. That was the only try of the first half, but Aurillac started to cut loose in the second. Jake Strachan with the kick pass for a second try of the evening for AJ Kurtzen, who's already doubled his try tally from last season. Strachan and Kurtzen were linking again with the kick pass. And Beziers, by this point, were cooked. The holes appearing in defence. Aurillac flooding through. Beautiful hands. And Luca Noriadza putting the icing on the cake. A mention for fullback Dashi Pupanashvili, who had a personal haul of 24 points in a crushing 49-24 win. A tough pill for Beziers to swallow. Nevers against Carcassonne then, and a really tight first half in this matchup. There was nothing in it. But it was quick thinking that saw a kick pass from a penalty find a winger, Perry Mayo. He still had work to do though, and shrugged off the covering defender to go in under the posts. And it was a combination of good attack and another missed tackle in midfield that saw Mayo in for a second try just 6 minutes later. The final play of the first half giving Nevers a cushion. Carcassonne found their attacking edge in the second period. Replacement scrum half Even David making the line break, and it was winger Tavita Railevu on his debut after joining from Brive who opened his account for his new club. But Nevers extinguished any hopes of a Carcassonne comeback when Stephen David was roaming out wide and got on the end of that nudge. Carcassonne still had a losing bonus point to fight for, but some big Nevers shots denied them as it finished up 26-17. Mont-de-Marsan are always a handful at home, and whenever they go on the road, Van have a target painted firmly on their back. Van did rotate players for this one, But the first try of the match was theirs. However, it was Mont-de-Marsan taking the lead when number 8 Sam Tuifua bagging his first try for the club, getting on the end of an outrageous offload from Moses Dawai. Another maiden try this time for former Newcastle winger Ben Stevenson early in the second half, pulled Van into striking distance. They did take the lead soon afterwards, but Mont-de-Marsan got their offloading game going again. Down the right touchline, hitch kick, support and interplay. And ultimately it was centre Bautista Ezcura putting the home side back in front on the hour mark. But the lead changed hands again with 10 to go when Cyril Blanchard steered them all to the line. So a tense finish with Mont-de-Marsan on the attack when Ben Stevenson coughed up a penalty with a deliberate knock-on. And Willie Duplessis helping Mont-de-Marsan take a scalp. A losing bonus point offering Van a sliver of consolation. Belter of a match. 30 points to 28. Round 3 opened up with our live Thursday night game from the Stade Ormandy where Agen hosted Grenoble. Agen brought the fireworks before kick-off, but there was very little spark from them on the field in the early moments. The visitors were in control and Yann Lestrade was over on 11 minutes. That did wake Agen up though, and some powerful close range play saw the big Irish lock John Madigan wrestle the ball to the line. Grenoble got loose. And Ibn Echeverry, the left wing for Agen, he was sharp, intercepting to take it all the way to the house for a second try for the home team. And maybe the best attacking moment of the match came when Agen struck from a set piece, angles and timing on point. And Portuguese winger Lucas Martins finishing off a fine move. Yellow cards for both teams in this matchup, but it was Agen's night, a comfortable and a confident victory, with Tomasi Fini-Nganofo growing in influence and deserving a try. Another one of the promotion favourites losing on the road. It finished Agen 38, Grenoble 20. Despite being early days, Provence were under pressure, having lost both of their opening matches, and the expectation is they should have too much for Biarritz if they play to their potential at home. Biarritz got the first points of the match, but Provence the first try. And with last year's top try scorer in Pro Rugby, Adrien Lepeg, getting his first of this season. Check out this try for Provence. Centre Matthias Colomiers with a classy offload. Chicken wing offload to put Setareki Butini-Yatta open, and he tied up what was left of the defence to put Joris Kazanave in the right corner. Butini-Yatta got 2 tries, and then Biarritz gift-wrapped his hat-trick. A simple intercept, making it all too easy. All Biarritz really had to offer was a little bit of bagarre. A kick out from the home player. It was a yellow card for Anoa Laurent, but a full red for Guillaume Piazzoli. That could hurt Provence in future weeks, but X claimed the full 5 points and a first win of the season in this one. Valence-Romans were the surprise package of Pro Rugby last season and continued this year with one of the 3 remaining teams before the round with a 100% record. Could they challenge the mighty Brive on home soil? Well, Valence made themselves hard to beat, but the dam began to burst as last year's top try scorer for Brive, Lucas da Silva, scored again on his first start of the season at the stroke of half-time. Valence scored their only try of the game, but from the immediate kick-off, had a bit of a brain fart that allowed Nick Crone in for his first ever try for his club. Brive were now busting loose. And replacement back rower Samuel Maximin ripped the ball and galloped in from range. A sixth try for Brive came from winger Erwan Driddy after a crossfield kick from Jamie Shilcock, who bossed the match. In fairness, he provided shape and a faultless kicking display. 48-10 the final score. Colomiers had 2 wins and Oyonnax 2 defeats going into this intriguing matchup in round 3. The home side had recruited strongly and expectations were high and were met when winger Darren Sweetenham busted over after just 2 minutes. When Colomiers, though, get into their groove, they are a brilliant team to watch, and it went coast to coast for ultimately Tongan winger Anzelo Tuitavaki to score for the visitors on half an hour. Colomiers then went ahead. Were Oyonnax in trouble again? Well, Eddie Sewelu helped them hit factory reset, and Justin Borot added to his 20-point haul to pull Oyonnax home for a first win of the season and relief for the home fans. And that is the results from week 3. Some absolutely belting games, most notably I think Mont-de-Marsan beating Vannes, last year's side in the top 14, and that means there is not a single team with a 100% record in the league. Dax, the only team without a win of any kind, just showing how competitive Pro Rugby is. Brive are now the only unbeaten team. 2 wins and a draw puts them top of the table on 11 points. Aurillac, who were down near the bottom last time, having a great start to the season. Our live game this week, we are at the Stade des Alpes for Grenoble against Nevers, and a full complement of fixtures that we will of course cover here on the channel along with the rest of our content, so get subscribed and we'll see you on the next one.